Night of the Living podcast is always ad-free for patrons at patreon.com/NOTLP.
Welcome to Night of the Living podcast. We're doing Splice to Meet You. This week it's Splice to Meet You, Blade 2.
Yeah.
Amy picked.
Well, it just, out of my limited list of ideas in my head, I was like, that sounds fine. Blade 2.
Blade 2. Andy?
I have to say it was all right to meet you, Splice, Blade 2.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say it was nice.
Wasn't nice?
It was
Yeah.
exceedingly
Yeah. I remembered things I thought were in this movie that I think are in the first one. Like Pearl, that character was not in part 2. So I had my memory of this is all a mess. But, you know, it's refreshed now that we watch the movie when we get into that later.
I would have told you before I saw this that I'd seen it. But having watched it, I don't think I've ever seen it.
Oh, really?
Either I might have seen it, but literally it's over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So I consider I haven't seen it because I don't remember it.
Right. And I'll say that the next time I see it.
Yeah.
Not to say that it's a bad movie. It's just, it's strangely forgettable. And I think it maybe when it was new, it wasn't so strangely forgettable because it was still kind of a fresh thing. Some of it.
I guess.
Anywho, we'll get into all that with the main attraction. But we were just in our little group chat asking each other about how our days were going. Like Kelley is learning to animate, like CG animation. Our Kelley,
Yeah.
not our Kelley.
No.
Our
Oh,
Kelley.
you are.
Yee.
Kelley.
Yeah. Andy, are you learning anything lately? Enriching yourself, extracurriculars?
I mean, not really. I'm lazy. But today I've been just reading a lot about that stupid space flight that those bitches went up, that those bitches did.
So misogynistic.
No, it's not. No, they're hiding behind feminism. Like, oh, girl power, or like the all-female crew going up in space.
He called
No,
them
bitches.
Did you hear what Katy Perry said that they were putting the ass back in astronaut?
Oh, dear God.
Yeah.
See, it's just a commercial for their fucking
Is it
space travel thing.
Which one is it that they're doing?
This is Bezos's.
Is Bezos's?
Business.
Bezos's?
And it's not like these hoes like did anything.
You sound you're like
like-
Don Imus right now.
Making the spaceship and stuff like that. They just strapped themselves in and went for a ride.
Yeah.
Come on, Oprah's best friend.
Gail King.
Oh, fuck her. It's just gross to me.
Yeah, there's something about the still drips with a lot of privilege.
Here's what I'll say. It doesn't necessarily bother me because I think anything that pushes our space program forward in any way is good.
Yeah.
But I don't.
How is this pushing only when it's meant for rich people to travel?
Because that leads them to research and create new things.
And when wealthy people
That's-
fall in love with something, they usually invest
Sure.
in it.
They're pushing
Yeah.
forward the technology. How cool will it be to one day have a space hotel?
Yeah.
That'll
If
be kind of fun.
You think they'll get all
That's-
that Katy Perry money?
Yeah. I feel that's so far off in our future that even if it happens in our lifetimes, we would never be able to afford it anyway.
Yeah. You mean how we can't even afford to go to Disney World anymore?
Yeah.
Priced out.
Anyway, I don't know if I'm like being super negative about it, but
You are.
anyway.
These bitches and hoes.
No, I was like, I feel like if it was like the Titanic
Bitches ain't shit.
expedition, if it exploded, like those guys that got squished down in the water,
Yeah.
I don't think anybody would have shed a tear.
Yeah. I understand what
sorry,
you're
they're
saying.
not
I get where you're
really-
coming from, but
In space. You're
Who's-
like barely.
well, yeah, they're
You're
kinda
not
like,
in what people really think of
Did they-
as outer space.
did they
Okay,
breach
so
the
calm
atmosphere?
down. I guess so.
That was the thing. I mean, like, I don't even know, like, at what point are you considered to be traveling in space? Do you have to break the magnetic
They're
hold of the
technically
planet?
whatever they did
Okay.
is like they went like 6 kilometers
tip.
higher than so that where the But still, you're not on the way to the moon. Calm down, Katy Perry.
Mm-hmm. That'd be neat, though, wouldn't it? Bunch of celebrities walking on the moon. That'd be so stupid. That'd be the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Should probably try to film a video out there or something.
Yeah. They should have Morgan Wallen on there, and he could try to just walk off the surface.
He's going back to God's country.
Yeah.
Just Earth in this
Back
case.
to Earth.
Oh my God. Anyway.
Like, I feel if like they went up there to the moon, they would do like moon angels or something.
Yeah, there's going to be some jacket ass
Yeah.
shit coming down.
Angels.
Some nonsense.
Say you won the lottery.
Yeah.
I win
They'll
the
be drawing
lottery.
dicks in the moon sand.
Apparently, for the Virgin space flights, not Jeff Bezos' stuff, but the Virgin space flights are only like $250,000.
Oh, is that all?
What if you won the lottery and you won like 10 million?
Ooh.
So you have enough.
That's not much.
Well,
That's a
it's
lot,
some.
percentage wise.
I mean, if I had $10 million, would I want to go to space? After what Shatner said about the feeling it gave him, I don't know anymore.
Yeah. To be separated from your Earth.
Yeah, and this idea of being completely
From your
untethered
world.
as well. Is
I mean,
like scary.
what is the physical effects on your body? Is it like Mission Space and Epcot?
Well, yeah, you got to resist
there is-
G-forces on your way up.
I mean, if it's like that, then hell no, because I'll throw up.
It was like they said, what, a 10-minute long flight? So you're only weightless for a few minutes, maybe not even that. And then you come down. I don't know. Would I do it just because this is not real outer space, but for a second you feel like it? Probably. Would I do it?
I mean,
If I had fuck you money,
if you had fuck you money,
I don't know, but I would want a specially designed suit, like Lauren Sanchez, who designed fucking Jeff Bezos' fiance designs
Yeah.
their suits so the
really?
Look here, Lauren Sanchez, you got all that money in the world. Get yourself a new face.
get some class.
Is it
A better
Ooh.
one, at least.
I don't even know what
because
she looks like, but I'm like, ooh.
It's a hatchet face.
Yeah. Well, is she like an engineer of some kind, or is she doing the
No,
fashion
she's
sense?
just-
Oh, okay.
She's just a side piece.
I gotcha. Oof.
She's a side piece who's
Ooh,
being
you guys.
promoted.
Ooh,
If
there's
you
so
saw
much
her.
scandals.
She was the one wearing her bra out at the fucking inauguration.
Didn't watch it.
Well, yeah, but you know we all saw.
I've
pictures
really
later.
been good at putting myself in a pretty good bubble lately.
I'll bubble you.
I'm bubble yummed myself. I'm in a giant pink bubble, and it smells nice inside
But the flavor will last for 5 minutes.
because it bursts every time I see the
Yeah.
news. I have to check every day to make sure the world's not ending. That's it. But I get in and out as quick as possible now.
Doesn't seem great today, but what does tomorrow hold?
I don't know.
All right.
It could be worse.
What?
You could be working in an out of control ER like so many people on streaming right now. I'd just be like, oh my God, those poor streaming medical professionals
It is hard
barely
out there for
streaming
them.
through their days.
Think of
Are you
the
talking about the
fake
pit?
professionals.
Is that a pit joke?
It's not just the pit,
There's
Andy.
3 of them that we've watched so far to see.
Oh, are these reality shows or like
No,
dramas?
dramas. We'll talk about them after the main attraction,
Yeah,
right? That
we'll
sounds.
get
We'll get there because that's our main algorithm thing. I think is that.
Yeah.
You guys have anything else for the top you want to talk about?
No, sir.
No global
Oh,
warming.
I forgot to start the timer. Can you tell me what time it is?
8:57.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Turn out lights, it's the main attraction. All right, from 2002, I believe, although it feels so 90s.
This movie.
Well, it's borderline 90s.
Yeah, it really is. Like, it feels like maybe it's the last gasp of the 90s.
I mean, maybe it was like produced in the 1999 or something.
Yeah, maybe.
That's when the costume designer started working.
Well, I know that
when did The
he's-
Matrix come out? Was that 99 or 2000?
I don't remember, but
Yeah.
I will tell you
Anyway.
that I know they did take care to try to make this movie look like the first one in a lot of ways.
I haven't seen the first one in so long.
Yeah.
I thought about rewatching it, but then I said I have only so much time in my life.
I remember this being my favorite of the trilogy, but after watching it, I'm wondering. I mean, not that it was a bad movie. It's it's a watchable, really fun movie.
It's aggressively there.
Yeah. It's just well, anyways,
You even fell asleep during the end.
What makes this did I really?
Yes, you
I don't
did.
even remember
You
that.
started nodding off.
So Blade 2 and what makes this like a nice Splice to meet you movie is that they're no secret here. They're making super vampires because they're like, we're a vampire that can make you a vampire and also make a vampire one of us.
The minute the world learned about DNA, these were the stories you get.
Yeah.
We're gonna make a super soldier, a super vampire, a super this, a super that.
Yeah. The Reapers, they're called in this, right?
Yeah.
And they're grody. And like they're kind of like, and I remember you're watching it, right? So who wants to kind of summarize? Andy, you feel like you got a good handle on?
I mean, basically, Blade, he's doing his vampire hunting thing.
Yeah.
And he gets recruited by the Council of Vampires.
It's so what we do in the shadows really nailed this shit, didn't they?
It's just so like kind of, I don't know if this was like a groundbreaking thing, like a Council of Vampires, but it's been like done so much at this point.
That
Yeah.
it
This
seems
movie
trite.
suffers from being dated.
Yeah, it's been imitated.
Yeah.
The Blade series, like what have you seen the Underworld movies? I've never seen them.
I've seen the first two.
They come after Blade or
Yeah,
before?
after.
Okay, because that's clearly more Blade,
Yeah.
isn't it?
So Blade gets recruited by the council because there's this new strain of vampire that can infect other people, and they're super strong.
And they got mouth fingers.
They've got a cloaca.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was another probably weakness of the movie because it looks so much like the Predator
yeah.
design.
Well,
that-
also, did you watch The Strain?
No.
It's Guillermo del Toro wrote it and made a TV series, and
There's some similarities in his vampire there.
I read it was on purpose. Like he actually wrote The Strain first and had the idea of the vampire with a thing sticking out of its mouth like the alien. Apparently that's a Polish vampire. That's where that comes from. But but he changed just a couple of things for Blade to make him a little different. But it's basically the same design, more or less. I'm sorry, Andy, you go ahead. I was just wanted
Oh, no,
I just
it's like
wanted to chirp in with that little bit.
No, and so he has to team up with these vampires and to hunt down these Reapers.
Reapers, yeah.
Reapers. And there's some stuff uncovered about, how these Reapers came to be. Turns out is they try to breed a new race of vampires or something. I don't know. And we get to
Basically.
see these cute little vampire embryos.
Yeah.
So cute.
It's kind of adorable, but
It turns
icky
out there's
too,
like
though.
there's some double crossing, and turns out the council was the one that created these Reapers, and they just got out of hand.
Yeah.
So now they need to control their creation.
So you have that
not pretty
complexity there. Man, see, that's what happens. You make a
What?
stronger vampire, and that vampire doesn't want to hang with regular vampires anymore. They think they're better.
Well, and these Reapers, they're feeding on vampires at first.
Yeah, and that's what brings Blade and the Council on Aging. No, what were they? The Vampire Council. Oh, actually, it's just a bunch of hitmen, more or less, that were hired to originally kill Blade.
Excuse me, it's called the Blood Pack.
The Blood Pack.
which
Okay,
is
that's what
the-
they're called.
I'm sorry, the lamest thing I've
They're a
ever
little street
heard.
gang. Ron Perlman playing a neo-Nazi character, and then the rest. Yeah, who was the great martial artist who played Iceman?
Donnie Yen.
Donnie Yen. Yeah, he's awesome.
I feel like he was wasted.
Yeah, I agree with you. I also think Danny John Jules, who was Assad, the guy who was the cat on
Red Dwarf.
Red Dwarf, and he was the fire gang from Labyrinth. They're the dolls that or the Muppets that take their heads off and throw them back and forth. He was the voice of those and
Oh, okay.
all that too. But he's just awesome, and he's such a great screen presence. That guy, you never see him anymore. Anywhere,
I mean, he's maybe doing British TV. I don't know.
maybe.
I don't know from that.
Last time it looks like IMDb had him
I
in
live
something.
in America.
Was Death in Paradise, which I have seen. Good show. But anyways.
And also, this movie suffered because you need to know like Blayne and his lore and the backstory going in, because I was kind of lost between like Chris Christopherson and who he was to Blayne.
He made weapons for him. He was kind of like Q in the Bond
all
universe.
they give you at the beginning, they do give you kind of a little, here's my
Like
story.
a previously on.
Yeah.
But all they really tell you about Whistler is that he taught him that he didn't have to drink blood, I guess.
Yeah, he kind of like, if I remember right, in the first one, Whistler just kind of takes him under his wing when he's young.
Right.
And then he also like
Yeah, they don't give
makes
you
weapons for him and shit.
the full detail of that
Yeah.
relationship. So a lot of those beats,
Yeah.
I miss,
Yeah, this is this is not the movie's fault. It's like our fault for not remembering Blade One. So it just I didn't have any like connection to this character or like the backstory because I've never seen forgot about the first one.
Yeah.
So I was didn't get any I didn't care about these characters very much.
So you didn't watch Sticky Fingers as Blade when he had the
I
TV
did.
show? You watched
I
it,
thought
right?
the Blade show was good.
It was fun, right? And but the lore of Blade, man, just right over my head every time. I
So we
never
got-
paid that much attention.
He's the Daywalker, which
Yeah.
means, and he says basically, I have all of the vampires' strengths and none of their weaknesses because I'm half human, half vampire.
Mhm.
It's like, why isn't the world just populated with them?
You know, they didn't invent that idea either. Apparently, that's like an old idea too.
Why wouldn't there be more blades? It seems pretty simple
That vampires would be doing it with humans
to make
to
Daywalker,
make babies.
and then they, they
don't
get
know.
to walk in the day.
It's a good question, Amy. Like that's something you have to explore in your own science fiction writings. What was that movie?
I'm sure there's some explanation in the comic books or something.
There was that movie that Ethan Hawke did. That was the vampire movie. That was a good vampire movie.
Daywalker, right?
It might have been what it was called.
Or Day
Isn't it funny?
Nightwalker.
Daywalker. And it's always Daywalker.
Yes, you have to
You
say
have to say it like that.
dripping
Because
with
they
disdain.
walk in the daylight. Because you get it because vampires
Yeah.
they get harmed by sunlight.
I think the term for it is Dompier or something
Okay.
for the half human, half vampire mix. I was trying to find the name of that vampire movie that Ethan Hawke did. Anywho.
We're all just sitting here. How fast can this bitch Google?
Yeah, not fast enough. You guys,
So
And Norman Reedus in this too.
yeah.
just as greasy as ever.
Yeah.
Why is that
He-
man permanently greasy?
I need to see childhood pictures of him. Was he always greasy?
He came out
greasy.
slick and it never stopped.
He's so slick.
I bet the birth was easy though.
He came
Slid right out of there.
flying out.
I think he has a reason to be greasy in this one. Daybreakers. Daybreakers is that movie. But I think him being the mechanic character, you're like, of course, that's why he's so greasy.
And then in
But
Walking
you-
Dead, he's greasy because
Yeah.
there's no showers. But then you see him on a red carpet and you go,
Still greasy.
And I don't know. Am I body shaming right now?
You're grease shaming.
Okay. I just realized I might be body shaming.
No, grease is something else.
Okay.
It's the word.
It's
His
the
hair
word.
is in his eyes and
Yeah.
it's greasy. And I don't understand why all the time.
Grease.
And the man picks up major tang.
Yeah.
Like how?
Because some like
Yeah,
it
some-
greasy.
Yeah.
Okay.
No shame in that.
No shame in that game.
If you want that grease, go get that grease.
I mean, I can see why people are into him. It's just not for me.
No,
Yeah.
it is not a taste that I want to explore.
Especially after the way he betrays Blade.
I know. He was a real bad guy.
Why did he just was familiar the whole time to the vampires?
And that's the thing. It's like, they were trying to set up Blade the whole time, and they could have just done it so many
A lot of easier ways.
easier ways.
Well, I think, I don't know.
It was just this movie. The plot doesn't matter. screenplay doesn't matter.
It's all about the fights.
It's all about fight and action sequences. That's all that this movie is.
And some of those aren't real.
Because this movie, it
kind of a
chooses not to really care about its story. Like, it chooses not to care about its predecessor. Whatever happened in the first Blade is rendered moot and useless at the very beginning of this one.
Yeah. Well, yes.
Because Whistler, he gives him the retrovirus, he's cured.
He's undone. Yeah, but then on the flip side of that, Del Toro really was trying to match the rhythm of the first movie and the
Who directed the
look
first
of it.
one?
I forgot the guy's name, but I'll look it up for you.
So nobody like super memorable.
He did direct Death Machine, the same guy who directed Blade 1, which I've
What
never
Death Machine
seen.
is.
Well, if we're talking about the rhythm of this movie, I found it exhausting.
So it's just fight after fight after fight.
It was
Stephen
just,
Norrington, by the way.
just nonstop. It throws you right in, and it never really ends. The action and stuff like that. So like there was very little time to develop a story that you care about.
Yeah, there were tons of fight sequences.
They were trying to throw in shades of romance with the one chick.
Yeah.
How do you get a purebred vampire? Now I'm like, vampires are not shooting blanks; they're shooting.
They're shooting, packing.
What
Well,
are they
and
shooting?
it says it's usually in the Dompier or whatever I read about that it's usually like a female human and a male vampire.
Okay, interesting.
If Wikipedia is to be trusted, it's run by vampires, for all we know.
So what were they using Blade for? To get rid of the Reapers because they were mistakes?
Yes.
So they can he was just used to be an exterminator.
Yes.
But I also
Right?
felt like, weren't they trying to get his DNA to add
But
that
they needed
missing
his blood
piece?
too.
They needed the missing piece, which was sunlight. Because
So what
the Reapers...
So was there
Couldn't go out the side.
I mean, I know they were using Blade to get rid of the Reapers, but they also needed his blood too.
The Reapers
So-
did.
No, like the council did, because they needed a Blade's DNA to
put in with their to splice in.
to make it correct, because their other experiments went wrong, and they said Blade is the missing piece.
But he's also the missing piece for the Reapers. Because they can do everything except for what he can do, which is go out in the light. Remember that one thing they still have the weakness to is the
No, I don't think the
UV light.
Reapers wanted him at all. They just
You don't think they were trying to get his DNA?
they just saw him as a
No.
threat and
Oh,
getting him out the way.
The Reapers didn't strike me as scientists.
No, they were.
I think they were just mindless eating machines.
What about the
Not
main
very
Reaper
mindless,
guy, Veiny McVein Marble Skin guy? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
What was his name?
but marble skin.
Gary.
Something with an N, maybe.
Nemicron or something.
Nomak.
Nomak.
So Nomak was the leader of the Reapers, right? So
Yeah.
he's the head guy. He didn't seem like as much as monstrous as some of the other vampires that we were watching. He seemed like he was more like the brains, didn't he? Or am I reading
Yeah.
that character wrong?
I think they all had the same level of intelligence, but
Yeah,
they were all just had their metabolisms were so fast they had to just constantly be eating
like
and
us
hunting.
when we
Yeah.
have the munchies.
Yeah, exactly.
So these Reapers are constantly high.
They're constantly high, and they
It is 4:20 every day.
and everybody looks like Hostess cakes to them. Man, I wish I had a Hostess cake.
That would be
We
great.
don't have shit in this house to eat other than I'm making
I
some
got a
green
car.
beans, and I'm making some sirloin that I have marinating.
Okay,
Thought
I'm glad you let everybody
thought
know.
everybody wants to know that.
You're like Mrs. Kittner.
Yeah, I wanted you to know that. You knew my steak was marinating,
Slap.
and you spoiled your dinner anyway with bread.
Do you guys remember when they were snorting blood cocaine?
That was kind of
gross.
cool.
Yeah,
Really?
nasty.
That was interesting. Like, hey, look, they're cool. The vampires are cool, man.
Do you think it was just crystallized blood, or do you think it was cocaine and blood?
I think it was cocaine and blood.
So that cocaine works on vampires.
Well, if
I'm
they're
guessing.
shooting,
Yeah.
then why couldn't
Wow.
cocaine work?
Then why wouldn't you always be on cocaine as a vampire? You can't hurt you.
That's true.
Just do it, I guess.
Well, do you want to spend eternity with a hollowed out nose?
Just rubbing your vampire teeth all the time with your forefinger.
That would hurt because they got the fangs and you'd be cutting your finger.
That's true.
So we had the blood cocaine, and then what's his nuts? The old man, head of the council, was
Yeah.
eating blood jello.
That made me want to barf.
because he's old.
Some of the stuff in this movie is really, really gross. Like Guillermo del Toro, I think, has a penchant for the disgusting sometimes.
Good for him.
I was real disappointed that Pearl was not in this one, that my memory betrayed me.
Oh my God. You won't stop talking about it.
I know Pearl was one of my favorite moments in Blade.
Perlman was
Ron
there.
Perlman's in it.
So why don't you just go back and watch Blade 1 then?
It's a big time commitment.
Dude, Ron Perlman was chewing on some scenery.
Yeah.
He was eating it up. He was
Well,
numbing.
I mean, I guess he needs to because Blade is such a low-key character that doesn't, speak much or act out his emotions at all.
Right.
So I think they needed somebody to add some acting flavor.
This is why I miss Pearl. Pearl was a
Freddy
big blob.
is showing us a screenshot from the original Blade of Pearl. I don't remember this at all.
Yeah, that was a great moment in the original, the reveal of Pearl. Anywho.
Ron Perlman asks Blade, he says, we were all wondering, him and the blood pack, can you blush?
Racist.
But then I was like, can vampires blush? They're dead.
Yeah,
but they also
do they
have blood.
It is meant to be a racist question, though.
No, I know,
Yeah.
but then it just spawned some other questions. No, I'm well aware.
It wasn't a vampire dig.
I know.
It was a real racist
But maybe
dig.
it could
And
be
based on real
multiple
life. That happened to Wesley Snipes in real life. Somebody asked him if he could blush because he's black.
Yeah. Uncool.
The answer is yes. Anyone with blood in their body can blush.
So the only thing that can kill these Reapers is UV light, like sunlight, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And they have this very convoluted way of like these UV bombs that they let off. Wouldn't it be easier just to walk in with the UV lights lit already?
Yeah, and aimable. They've already established they can make it
Blade
aimable.
can do that.
Yeah.
The
Or
regular
just
vampires can't.
They don't have the same equipment that Blade does.
They can't just walk in with it blazing. It would kill them too.
No,
I know, but if there's like the flashlight or something.
yeah, it's directed. It's a flashlight on
Oh
the
yeah,
on the
why
guns.
not just? You're right.
And they had them.
I thought you were talking about the little bombs.
You know why they did the little bombs? Because it looks neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
You're
like,
right, just
this
have
whole movie
one
was
big-
an excuse to
Yeah.
make like cool things and cool
Yeah.
fights and cool equipment.
Yeah.
Just make a big flashlight UV light
You know, I
and just
think
sweep it around.
I think that's when Del Toro complains about the studio interfering. I think it's these moments. I think it's the big, like not having a good reason for the bombs, having all the CG fight sequences where they would add in frames of clearly fake
Yeah.
people fighting each other.
Mhm.
Like I have a feeling if they had left him to his devices, the movie probably would have been better.
Yeah, I don't think he had the pull back then that he does now
No,
to like have his own way.
he had just done Mimic prior to this. As far as U.S.,
Fucking mimic.
he wasn't really known over here yet.
Yeah.
There was this really great scene where they're trying to kill or is it one of the blood pack that they're killing, or is it a Reaper? I cannot remember now. Where they cut the top of the head off.
Oh, that was gross.
Oh, that's one of the blood pack that got turned into a Reaper.
Oh, that's right. They
Yeah.
got turned into a Reaper. So they're trying to kill it. And they slice off part of the head. So you can see like the brain exposed or whatever. So it's like one eyeball, that side of the head. The full body of the Reaper gets exposed to daylight. So then, it's dead. But the little eye part of the head with the eyeball is still alive and not in the sunlight. It's still in shadow.
Yeah.
And I was like, is somebody going to nudge that little chunky over there?
Is it still alive? Should we put it out of its misery?
The eye was moving.
They
That
should've
was a gnarly little
Brought a
scene.
broom in. Just
Yeah, like I said, this
swept it
movie
in.
had like some cool parts to it, but that's it. It wasn't the sum of it.
Yeah.
Who said you're about one cunt hair away from hillbilly heaven?
I feel like that probably came from.
That's probably Ron Perlman, right?
Yeah. It was a good line though.
Because he was talking about Chris Christopherson's character, Whistler. Is that his name?
Whistler.
Yeah.
Or it might have even been there was the guy who hated Whistler, Chode. No,
Everybody hated
Chupa.
Whistler.
Chupa.
Chupa hated Whistler.
Chupa.
You remember Chupa?
Yeah, the blood pack, y'all.
Chupa.
See, that's the other thing. Like the blood pack, they were just so antagonistic toward Blade, even though they're supposedly supposed to work together. So, like the big reveal with the betrayal wasn't that big of a surprise.
No, yeah.
Because they've been trying to kill him and mess with him the whole
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. And I when he calls like there's clues that Blade is on to Scud.
There are?
There are clues leading up, like when he calls him a wussy or wimp
Sissy.
or whatever he called
Sissy.
him.
I think he said sissy.
Yeah, he called him a sissy when they were.
How's that a clue?
Because
I thought he was just messing with him.
he had already figured out. By then he already knew, because he says later on, "I knew when blank." So you can see after that point. So in a way, like it's a cut above some of the other. Like Blade 3 is terrible to me. I remember seeing that in the theater.
Is that the one with Ryan Reynolds?
Yes, Ryan Reynolds and Jessica Biel, and it's bad. But this one has little moments like that actually kind of make it a little, it's a little better than the other ones, I think, because of stuff like that. Not that he called him, him calling him a sissy isn't the best choice of words.
Yeah.
It's the fact that he's onto him and they kind of show you a little bit. It's kind of a little more mature aspect of the movie.
Yeah. So, at what point does Scud turn? Was he
always?
Always.
Was he always?
Yeah.
He's the way he tells it, I think, is that he was always a familiar. That he was planted there, basically.
I mean, he's not like I said, he didn't do a very good job of. If he was familiar the whole time and they need to get rid of Blade, they did not do a good job at it at all.
Yeah, Scud, as smart as Scud was, he was also pretty dumb.
Mm-hmm.
He was a pretty silly character. He was watching the Powerpuff Girls. Not that there's anything wrong with watching Powerpuff Girls. I'll dig into some Powerpuff Girls every once in a while. Why not?
Sure.
But Scud, wait, this is starting to look too familiar. He was just high all day watching Powerpuff Girls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there are clues.
Definitely. I did not pick up on any of them, but I'll believe you.
He's a bad man.
So I guess Ron Perlman's character was the one with all the lines, because I also wrote down "suck puppy's nut juice."
I feel that maybe that feels like a lot of it was improv or something.
Yeah.
Suck puppy's nut juice, which was a
Can what?
reference
Can puppies nut?
to the Reapers. They wanted to get the pheromones from their adrenal glands for something,
I'm still
To
laughing
attract
about
them.
Andy's
to attract
question.
them somewhere.
Yeah.
And that makes Ron Perlman say that that's their nut juice.
Yeah.
From
Andy
their
asked if
adrenal.
puppies can nut.
I think they probably can.
That's a honey of an O.
I don't want to know, and I maybe didn't want to indulge it.
Yeah.
That's why I just kept talking.
All right. Pomeranian spunk.
What'd you say?
I didn't say Pomeranian spunk, if that's what you think.
Oh, that's expensive.
Yeah, well, that's what you were just telling me. That.
I know somebody. Well, I know somebody who knows somebody who spent $4,000 on a Pomeranian. Go fuck yourself.
But they're so cute.
What an absolute waste of time. You know how many dogs you could save with $4,000?
Yeah, but they wouldn't be
Good
that
rescue.
one adorable Pomeranian that they love so much with this little face.
That's been inbred all to hell.
Oh no, are we going to send Pomeranians in space next in their little space suits?
Yes. Now
It'd be
I'm
cute, but
behind.
also a horrible waste of money.
Yeah.
What do you think the first space tourist dog will be? A golden retriever, right?
Yeah.
No, it's going to be one of those rich people and their little teacup poodles or something.
French bulldog.
But with their smushy little face,
Yeah.
I don't know if they could handle
The G-forces are going to make their faces even smushier.
Then they wouldn't be able to breathe.
Yeah, they
You know, all
already
they need
can.
is one of the. Once you put them in those little round space helmets, they'll be fine.
Oh, they're little round
That
space
would be
helmets.
adorable.
You watch Fur Babies, Andy?
No, what is that?
It's on Nat Geo. It's just animals giving birth and their litters.
Yeah.
And
Mostly
stuff.
dogs and cats.
It's wonderful.
It's so sweet.
Sounds adorable.
It is really sweet.
They're tiny little bubas when they're born. They're so little.
They even had chickens on the last episode.
And then you look at them and you talk like this because they're so fucking cute. Yeah, they had chickens in the last episode.
So we got here because he said, what did he say?
Suck puppy's nut juice.
Suck puppy's nut juice. So fur babies.
Get
Nat Geo.
that embroidered on a pillow. Put that next
Yeah.
to your live, laugh, love.
Oh my.
So those embryos we were talking about earlier, were all those vampires?
Or were they
Or like
Mixes.
they were experiments?
Yeah.
They had been designed. I don't know. Were they all
We never get told for sure, do we?
Yeah, you know, they're
I think it was just like, hey,
concerned with its own story.
it was just to make a cool visual of this little wall full of embryos.
Yeah. Do you ever think of peel and eat shrimp when you see those things?
Yeah, well, now that you planted that in my mind, I can't look at peel and eat shrimp the same way again.
Yeah.
They look like little embryos.
Embryos. Yeah.
I mean, I still eat them, but maybe I eat more of them now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm eating babies.
My skin's so smooth.
Yeah. But, you know, I understand why this experiment didn't work. Because they had an open tub of blood in their lab.
That's reckless as hell. Isn't it?
Unsanitary.
Of course it's going to get contaminated.
And are they even all the same type of blood? Is it O's and ABs and A's and B's?
It's like a fruit punch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But doesn't matter to vampires. Blood
Yeah,
type.
and I assume that
fruits.
was like this part of the material they were using, just this open churning vat of blood.
Thank
Yeah.
God that vat of blood was there.
Because it's
I mean,
what
that's-
recharged our boy.
Yeah.
Boy Blade.
Blade falls in, and very much like in Apocalypse Now, he rises up out of that shit, all recharged and ready to kill.
Covered
That's
in
why it's
blood.
there. It's only there. You're right, Andy. It's basically there for this shot.
hmm
But also, it does serve the plot a little bit because you see how badly beaten down Blade gets.
Yeah.
But he doesn't really earn his way back in. He falls into a vat. So it doesn't really tell you, like, it's not like stick in there, hang tough or whatever. It's like fall into a vat of blood.
The movie is unconcerned with you.
That should be a motivational poster. Fall into a vat of blood.
It is just a vehicle for fight scenes.
Yeah. They're good fight scenes until the fucking CG shit pops in.
Yeah. So what is that stuff that he injects himself with? Is it like a something he
serum
feeds
of some
himself with
sort?
so he doesn't have to drink blood?
I
I'm
don't
sure they
remember.
explain it in the first movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something in the first movie. Somebody listening probably is a big Blade fan. Is
Probably screaming right now.
Yeah.
losing their shit right now.
Sorry.
It's like, I just don't feel like he's that compelling of a character in the first place. Like, the idea of it is good, but the way that it's presented, he's just so quiet and low key that
Yeah.
betrayed.
Yeah, you were breaking up just a little bit there. Blade is kind of he's just
One
kind of very one note. At least in the movies. I wouldn't know about the comic books. But in the movies and in the TV show, there's not a lot of like
Range.
personality there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But some
I
characters.
like the movie. I like watching the fights.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Wesley Snipes has a great screen presence. But just it wasn't served very well by the character or the movie.
Yeah. It never rises to being like the later Marvel stuff. It's
Yeah, I
just
need
kind of
some-
like, yeah.
I need some quips from my superheroes or something,
Oh, you get quips from Blade like, the motherfucker's always trying to ice skate uphill. He said that in the first one. And then in this one, he was like, puppy cum. Or who was it again?
That was Ron Perlman, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was Ron Perlman.
Yeah.
It was suck puppy's nut juice, not
Yeah.
puppy cum.
And then he tells
Get out of here.
he tells Scud, he's like, you sissy.
It's like, that's not a nice word, Blade.
Blade, that's Blade's wit. That's the extent of it. That and everyone has to wear Ray-Bans. That's his personality. If you're gonna hang with me, you put Ray-Bans on unless you're Scud.
How did that become the vampire look? Just leather and black everywhere.
Just very like goth, very
Who did start
very
it?
BDSM.
Is it Blade? It can't be. Somebody before Blade had to do it. Didn't we already decide that?
Well, no, because they were kind of like that on Buffy a little bit, right? No, I guess not. Well, a little bit.
I'm gonna say, what's the origin of the
I
vampire
feel like
leather
The
look?
Buffy ones, they just had like black leather trench coats and stuff, but it
Yeah.
wasn't all like borderline BDSM.
Right.
Do-do-do-do-do.
What is the AI telling
I mean,
you?
like, why are all vampires are portrayed so sexy all the time? Aren't there like just some suburban vampires are just
Well, it's a
wearing
very
like
sexual
It
creature.
polos and khakis?
it emerged in the 1980s and then became
mean,
mainstream.
I think Anne Rice did that with like the frilly, sexy vampires. But it's like what was the transition to black leather?
Punk rock scenes
I mean, if you think about it,
brings in the black leather.
vampires are, nocturnal. They penetrate you with their fangs. It's all very sexy, sexual.
But that's the opposite of what Del Toro wanted to do.
Yeah.
He said he wanted vampires
succeeded.
to be gross and scary in this movie.
He succeeded.
Yeah, and that's what the Reapers look like. They were
Yeah.
is like they were very like Nosferatu looking.
Yeah.
I
agree.
prefer my vampires to look like people because I think it's scarier.
I don't like. I'm not married to any one particular kind of vampire,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm a huge fan of the Fright Night movies and the way they depict vampires. So make mine a Jerry Dandridge
All right.
or his sister or their ilk, an Evil Ed.
I mean,
Okay.
if I get turned to a vampire, do I need to get a whole new wardrobe? Can I
You're
stop
gonna
wearing?
get turned.
You could be your own kind of vampire.
You could reinvent yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, that I just want to wear my t-shirts and sweatpants.
You know how you know what kind of vampire you're going to be? You look in your closet and you find the flashiest outfit you own, and you're going to base your new wardrobe on that outfit. Mine would just be this Mickey Mouse jacket I've got in the closet. It has a couple of real bright, it's a
okay,
windbreaker.
You can be a Disney vampire.
I'm going to be a Disney adult vampire.
Oh my god.
Wouldn't that be funny?
And I don't like wearing leather. It's very stiff and very constricting.
Mm-hmm.
The flashiest thing I own is this one piece thing, like a jumpsuit kind of thing that I will never wear because how do I pee in it?
All right. You have to
But I
take the whole
bought it.
top down.
That's
do
the kind of
vampires
vampire I'd
pee?
be. No, it'd be perfect to wear when I'm a vampire because I don't think they pee. But if they can impregnate,
I don't know. You think that
they have
they
biological
also,
processes.
but they don't drink wine.
Don't they drink blood? I mean,
They
what
drink
what are the
blood.
I will forever. The Buffy vampire lore is forever my vampire lore.
Yeah.
That's where I start and end.
This has something in common with Buffy, the disintegrating vampires.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is, I think, a great. I'd like a disintegrating vampire
They
for
get the
my
easy
money.
cleanup.
If you're gonna do vampires, they should disintegrate.
Yeah,
Just saying.
I agree.
It's like people who make their own cake mix.
yeah.
Too much work. You don't need all that.
Tastes the same. All I gotta do is decorate it, fancy it up with some icing.
Yeah. There it is.
Anyway, another thing that kind of dates this movie is the aggressive soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you just don't
New
see that
metal.
anymore. You know.
That's
Oy.
Did Beltrami do this one? Did you guys remember? I'm gonna look.
I
He's
think
the guy who
talking
did
more
Scream,
about
right?
the music, not the
Yeah,
score.
but like not just the music, but just songs during movies.
Well, the industrial sound. They were always about that in the Blade movies. Even when it wasn't even popular anymore, they were still doing it.
But you just don't hear much music during movies like that, like how we used to in the 90s and 2000s,
right.
where like soundtracks were big.
Yeah, it is Beltrami who did
The score.
He did Scream, which is really great score, I think. But yeah, this one is more
It did
mechanical.
make me, even though all the music was awful to mine ears.
Mm-hmm.
Not the score. I'm not talking about the score. I'm talking about the music.
Yeah.
I still made me nostalgic for soundtracks
Mm-hmm.
and how they would get put together
Yeah.
to match a movie's vibe.
Wasn't Cypress Hill in this one somewhere
I don't know.
on the soundtrack? I mean,
I don't know.
that would be an exception to the bad song on the soundtrack rule, right?
Right.
Who doesn't love Cypress Hill?
Mm-hmm.
Some
So,
priest somewhere.
You said before, like they try to inject some sentimentality and some character stuff with like this relationship he has with the female vampire.
Mm-hmm.
You know who
I
else?
feel that was very I feel that was like kind of
Surface.
shoehorned in and very unearned.
So unearned.
Yeah. Do you feel like that was a note? He was like, they need a love interest.
Maybe.
And like, well, we can do just this bare minimum. Gorillas were on the soundtrack, by the way.
Yeah, I think they needed something for us to feel like cuddly about Blayne with, because he's such a very reserved and cold character.
Yeah, you sort of had this like kind of fun relationship between Norman Reedus and Blayne that was sort of what you thought would be kind of your like friendly character, and then
Batman
it turns
and
out.
Robin.
So you have to have. I bet you that was a note, and they're like, "We'll throw some romantic interest in there," but it was barely thrown in there.
Yeah.
It was like a name only, but still, it was
Release the Del Toro
not
cut.
subtle.
Do you think there's a Del Toro cut?
I don't think we need one.
No.
Yeah.
I
You
don't
think you're
the
ready to
movie's
move
that
on from
deep.
Blade? He was in I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but it was fun to see Blade again in one of the later iterations
of a.
of a Marvel movie.
I don't think that's a big spoiler. It's been
Everybody
it's a huge
knows
movie,
now, right?
Yeah.
Deadpool and Wolverine, where Blade turns up with electric nachos.
And Gambit and somebody else. Or was it just those three? Forgot
I
already.
can't remember.
Anywho, Blade.
Blade
Yeah.
2.
It was fine, but just I don't like the phrase. It's forgettable.
Yeah. I'm gonna immediately forget about it.
Forget about what?
You son of a bitch.
All Freddy knows is Pearl.
4622. You like that? All I know is Pearl.
All I know is Pearl.
That's
Okay.
Pearl's neck measurements, 46 inches.
Do we have anything else to say about Blade 2?
No.
Good.
But Amy and I've been really hardcore. We burned through The Pit. Have you watched it at all, Andy?
Not yet. It's like the season's over, right? So I
Yeah.
can like finish the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know what I want to do? I don't necessarily want to do this because I'm getting too old to do this stuff. But a younger me would have said, get up at 7 a.m. and go through the whole shift.
Because that's
In
what the
real
show
time?
is. It's an hour of a shift every episode.
Yeah, and it starts at 7 a.m. And then
I bet you somebody, a hardcore fan, has done that. I bet a bunch of them have.
it's that good where you kind of would, even when you finish it, you're like, I could go back and watch this whole
Yeah.
thing over again.
We tried that with 24 a little bit.
Yeah, we had fun with 24, didn't
Yeah.
we? This is a lot like 24.
Like we
only,
watched
yeah.
a couple. Didn't we try to do like hours in a day?
We did. I can't remember how far we got. Did we burn
I know,
through?
but we watched a lot. We tried to do as much as we could in a day.
Yeah.
I remember that.
We were getting them from like the library or something
Yeah.
Oh my God.
on DVD. Yeah.
Back in the day when I was
So
young.
it's how many how many episodes is it? Like
I think 15.
15. So it's 15. That was like each show is an hour, so it's 15
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was 15.
Yeah. So if you started at 7 a.m., you'd be done at 8 a.m. the next, or not 8 a.m.,
8
8 p.m. the next.
That
Do
night.
they show the lunch breaks?
Nobody gets a lunch break, Andy. That's
Oh, no.
hilarious.
What about a bathroom break at all?
Barely.
They play with that a little bit too.
So we've been watching
Yeah.
The Pit,
And the pit's so good.
and then Freddy's like, I heard about this other show called Berlin ER, and it's on Apple TV. It's a German.
Berlin, as in Germany.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
a German show. It's basically just The Pit, but German,
Mhm.
sort of.
It is
Except
exactly
it's-
the pit
I
in
mean,
German, and it doesn't take place in real
in
time.
one-
Like,
yeah.
it's not like an hour. It's like the
But
pit
it only
if they
takes
didn't do
place
that.
in the hospital.
Yeah. Whoops. Yeah, it's all in the and it's a weird hospital on what you read, it was an abandoned building that they're shooting in.
Yeah. With
It's
some CGI.
I would also say that the pit's more sentimental than Berlin ER.
Well, the Germans,
Just
are not
slightly.
known for being very sentimental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You know what's funny? So,
Yeah.
I'm reading subtitles. I'm hearing German, but, really not paying attention to it and just reading subtitles. And one of the characters will switch to English sometimes, and I don't even notice it's happening. And I'm just reading along, even though I could totally understand what they're saying in that moment because I'm just so trained
to
just
keep
to
your eyes
read
on
the
there.
subtitle.
You can watch this show in English too, but it's
Yeah, they have a
again,
dubbed version, but
the dubs are always a little weird to me.
Yeah.
Like the characters don't sound right.
Mm.
Like one's voice is way higher than the original actor, and it doesn't jive for me with the dub too well.
So Berlin ER, definite recommend. We're in like a few episodes in.
And it's the same deal where it's like with the pit, as soon as we were done with an episode, I'm like, more. It's the same with Berlin ER. Like I was worried about starting another because I'm like, I got to be ready to commit my whole evening, just dive in over to each episode and then get my blood pressure all up and get excited.
Like, is it just a really well done hospital procedural, or do they do something that makes it stand out?
No, the fact that they are so dedicated, both of them, this is the first time you'll see like a hard R hospital series too. So like the procedures look real, the trauma stuff looks real.
Nudity.
Yeah. So
language.
There's no sex really between I would say that
Berlin ER
the
had
pit
sex.
is like a kind of like very sex neutral. No, there's no sex happening right on the pit.
Sexless.
It's totally sexless. So you don't have to deal with that if you have hang-ups about watching doctors go off and have sex in closets like on all the other shows. But Berlin does it, and it's in a closet, like on all the other shows.
So, we've got the pit.
They have their own sex closet.
Yeah.
You got to have a sex closet.
If you work at a hospital, you have sex in a closet.
So we've got the pit. Then we had Berlin ER. Then Netflix just debuted Pulse, which is another hospital procedural drama.
So, was Berlin ER, was that like more recent, or is it like new too?
They both came out.
New.
I think both the pit and Berlin ER like came out like probably the same week or something.
Okay.
Yeah. But Pulse just came out as well. Pulse is crap. And I got one episode. We didn't even finish.
We didn't finish the first episode.
The first episode. This is not good. It's dumb. It's more Grey's Anatomy, I can tell. It's gonna be more.
So it's more soap opera-y then?
Yeah.
And not even good soapy though. Like it takes place in Miami. Everybody's like struggling to live through the moments on these other two series, and this one is so leisurely by comparison. And the people you're like, you guys have it pretty good. I can't really sympathize with these guys too much.
So it's more about the doctors as opposed to the emergencies that come in.
Yeah.
And I'm more about give me, the procedural aspect of it. Give me the new case, the new illness, the new this, the new that.
Those are like the new standards, I think, for hospital. If you're doing an emergency room drama,
which all three of these are,
it should be like emergencies constantly. And it's hilarious. It's almost too much on the pit, like the level of emergencies they deal with.
How much happens on one day?
I also call it the show The Day Everything Happened to Amy, because I'm like, it should have just been called The Day That Everything Happened, because everything happens.
Maybe that is what it's like in an ER then.
Maybe?
This ER, I think, was an exceptionally crazy ER for the show, but they say it's accurate.
Pittsburgh, what's going on there?
What is happening in Pittsburgh?
What is wrong with you people?
Well, anybody we know that's in the Pulse? Because we know Noah Wiley's in
no.
The guy
Pit.
from The Boys who plays A-Train is in it.
The
But
one lady.
It's the only person I knew.
I can't remember what I know her from. There's faces. Let's just say there's faces where you're going to go, oh, yeah, I recognize that face.
Oh, apparently Fiona Dorff's on The Pit, right?
Yep.
Dude,
and Brad
so
Dourif makes a
good.
cameo as her dad.
Oh,
It's
that's
really
sweet.
Cute.
I'm a fan of hers, and I didn't recognize her in this.
Yeah.
Like, she just is so absorbed into the role.
She's been a horror hound with him.
Yeah, well, I was glad to see her name pop up.
Yeah. She's a lot of fun. Did you watch Dirk Gently?
That the one with Elijah Wood?
Yeah. She's on there. That's the first thing I saw.
I don't
her in.
remember. It was a while ago.
It's really fun, and her character is real wild and crazy. That's why it's very different from the character she's playing on The Pit. She's got her dad's skill set, man.
Yeah.
She does.
great.
She can do everything across the board.
So you guys been watching anything else besides hospital stuff?
Yes, I did just watch At the Earth's Core,
Oh God,
which is
Doug McClure again.
Doug McClure, Peter Cushing. It's an Amicus production.
It's the last one they made.
Is it really?
Mhm.
It's the one that killed it off.
Yeah, I don't know if it's responsible for
I can
ending
see
it,
that.
but it might have been.
We actually watched the new MST3K version, so the one with Jonah Ray.
Oh, did they release another season of it?
No, this is from the original season that they released.
Oh, okay.
Amy just happened to want to see the movie.
Don't remember this one.
Yeah, I wanted to see the movie, and Freddy's like, there's an
Yeah.
MST3K, and I was like, well, that's the version I would like to see. Thank you very much. It's like they're gonna drill into the Earth's core, and they find a society in there of humans, and then these giant bird monsters, and then these like little monkey men, and then they escape.
It looks like Planet of the Apes in the middle some.
Yeah,
The way he hooks up with the other human, the people who
Right.
are kind of like humans down there.
mm-hmm.
And they have sunlight because they're under. This part is the part of it that really, when I was like, oh God, they're just making so much stuff up. Like it was sunny all the time,
Yeah,
even though they're under
the earth.
ground.
Yeah,
And they were saying it was because it was the magma was so hot above them that it was like having a sun. I don't know.
I don't know either. Listen, my geology knowledge extends to like
Yeah, and I
one
never
class
thought
I
about
took in
that.
college.
Because
Yeah.
I like the new King Kong and Godzilla movies, with the Middle Earth. What's it called?
Yeah, I can't remember what they called it in that, but yeah, like,
Yeah,
they all
but
go to
there's
the
a Earth-
center.
Yeah, there's a lot of daylight there. I thought explain that.
It's because the heat from the core, Andy. That they explained it not the Earth's core.
It's so cute. Freddie and I were at Target the other day, and I know we're supposed to be boycotting, and I apologize, but my options aren't great. So anyway, there's a little boy behind us, and he was buying Godzilla versus Kong toys, and he was so
Oh.
excited about them.
So cute.
Did it look cool?
The toys or the kid?
Yeah, the kid, the toys.
They did look pretty cool.
Kid was pretty cool. He was smoking a cigarette. He had a leather jacket on.
So smoking cigars are still considered cool, right?
Yeah, as long as you're wearing a leather
A
jacket.
leather
Yeah.
jacket, you say?
And-
Vampire chic.
Yeah.
And sunglasses,
Yeah.
and then you got to flick the cigarette like when you're done.
You got to make a big sparky mess
Yeah.
of it too when you do it. I miss smoking sometimes. You should never pick it up.
Nope.
Um,
At the Earth's core. That is the end of my book report.
I'm dying to watch some Troy McClure action on The Simpsons now that we've watched so much Doug McClure material
Yes.
that I feel like I'll appreciate that a little more.
It'll be more well-rounded.
And we need to watch some Troy Donahue stuff too so that we get the other side of it.
Okay. Andy.
Oh, okay. Well, I watched
Oh.
Death of Unicorn.
Oh,
Oh, did you have something else, Sammy?
You talk about Death of a Unicorn.
Oh, okay. Not for me.
No.
Oh, really? Did you go to the theater?
Yeah.
What's the premise of this?
This
Truly-
Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega, they go to this his boss's house, and it's like in this wilderness area, and they hit a unicorn,
Oh.
and his rich industrialist boss wants to like use the unicorn's blood and body for research purposes, but then the other unicorns attack because they're trying to get the body back. And I feel like the people came up with just to watch Cabin in the Woods and saw that one scene with the unicorn and said, let's make a movie out of that. And I think it's a bad idea in the first place.
Yeah. So the comedy, I mean, with all this,
I mean, basically it is a comedy,
yeah.
but the problem is for like when you make a unicorn horror comedy, you need to go big with it, broad, like huge, like everything should be exaggerated. And I don't think, for me, it didn't go as far as it should have.
Really?
Needed
Even
to
with,
go.
Tim Robinson. Is that his name? Tim Robinson?
Oh, yeah, he's in it?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Is he not? He's not.
Tim
on his-
Robbins from,
I think you should leave.
from
Isn't
no,
he? in
he's
it?
not in it. No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I saw the movie. He's not in it.
I thought he was. Maybe he's in another new movie.
Anyway.
He is in a movie with Paul Rudd, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's not this one.
It's not out yet. It's called like Friends or something.
Oh, is that what it is? I'm thinking of because Paul Rudd
Yeah.
and him are okay. So he's not in
Yeah.
Unicorn at all.
No,
Okay.
no.
You just made that
Anyway.
up.
I made that connection out of whole cloth.
Like I said, like I feel like a whole movie centered around killer unicorns is a bad idea in the first place, like I said, and they needed to pad it out with other things because otherwise
Are
it
you-
would just
are
be
you in the
unicorns
pocket?
just stabbing people over and over again.
You're in the
So
pocket
need-
of big
they need-
unicorn, aren't you?
Yeah, they need to pad it out with like character stuff. But the problem is like the characters aren't that compelling in the first place. And they needed to make a story with Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega, the family stuff, and it was just so unearned and so slapped on.
Lazy.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
there's like Paul Rudd is like an asshole throughout the whole movie. And all of a sudden he gets his redeeming moment at the end. And it just comes out of nowhere, contrasting with like how he acted throughout the whole movie. And it just felt very unearned.
Death of a Unicorn, right?
Yeah. Yeah, there's some
Andy
funny
says.
parts. But
So nobody needs to be rushing to the theater. To
yeah,
see
it's
this.
it's not a good movie, honestly.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
the CGI unicorns, they look just bad.
Yeah.
Do they talk?
No,
No. Okay.
I mean, the problem was like it's a unicorn. There's only so many ways you can have.
It's
Yeah.
a unicorn. It's going to
A
stab
Kelley
you through
unicorn,
your
you know what I mean?
chest.
You know what though?
Yeah.
With a horn.
Did you watch Carousel?
Carousel.
Oh,
They screened it at Horror Hound, and we laughed our asses off. It's like a zero budget killer unicorn or carousel unicorn
Yeah.
movie.
Carousel
I
horse.
mean, like where all the kills just basically stabbing through the chest.
Of course, it gets real weird though. They do some other stuff,
Yeah,
but it's pretty
but I can
imaginative.
I can forgive some things because of the budget and stuff. But when you have
This had good
this
money.
much, yeah, like this many people involved in it, they have names and money. You have A24 behind it, and there's no reason it should look this bad and uncreative.
He's throwing a shot over into A24's court like it's like you're playing pickleball with them, and you're just ready to spike on them.
And I'm just smashing balls in
You're
their
just
face.
smashing balls in their face about their unicorn movie.
Guys, I just lost a sneeze.
Oh, that's the worst.
Look at the light, right? That's
I
you get
did,
it back.
it's still
Yeah.
away.
That's where it goes to like limbo, where unbaptized babies go
Okay.
when you swallow a
Sneezes.
Lost
That's-
it.
It's a sneeze that never matured.
So earlier I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. I wanted to mention that Freddie and I watched Presence,
Oh yeah, that's right.
the new Soderbergh movie.
Have you seen this, Andy?
Oh, I heard about it. It's the one with Lucy Liu, and it's like the POV of the ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not into the POV of the villain movies because In a Violent Nature in this
Yeah.
didn't do it for me.
But well, it's not. You shouldn't say villain necessarily.
Well, I mean, a ghost is the
Kind of the villain.
villain
I guess.
in a ghost movie.
I'm just
usually.
saying you gotta be careful about spoilers.
I didn't spoil anything. It's a ghost.
She said it.
It's
Villain.
in the thing.
You made it sound like it's a bad ghost. It could have
No.
been a friendly ghost.
No, yeah, that could be Casper.
Yeah, I liked it. It
I
reminded
really
me of
wasn't
Enter
trying
the
to
Void
imply anything.
without the incest.
What?
I said it reminded me of Enter the Void.
Oh,
I enjoyed the roller coaster value of.
it's not a horror movie.
No, it's a
I want-
thriller.
And if you go in looking for it, you're going to be disappointed. So maybe I went in looking for that a little bit more. It's not. And you need to know that going in. It's
But
just
it
like,
is a ghost movie.
yeah.
So
I mean, is it almost like a found footage movie or something?
It feels
No.
like one, but it's
Yeah.
not. It's because it's not the ghost.
No, that's
is
what I'm saying.
carrying
The
a
feel
camera.
of it, because it's like the
Yeah.
POV, like you see
I
people
mean, I guess in
react
that
and stuff like that.
Case, yeah, I guess it mimics a found footage movie in that way.
It's kind of a hard adjustment to all the wide angle lenses they use, and like as the ghost will kind of get its bearings and moving around the house, like it can be an like intense for. I think some of you
Yeah.
might get nauseous.
I mean, I assume the ghost is making his presence known.
Presence.
That's the title.
My presence is a present. Kiss my ass. Oh, that's a Kanye lyric.
But Amy,
I'm
you
sorry.
want it to be scarier, right? Is that the main thing?
Yeah, it just didn't give me. It gave me lots of family drama,
Mm-hmm.
but it didn't really give me horror or
Didn't give you enough
thriller or
scares.
no. But that's me, and I don't know that it's the movie's problem. Like I said, I just think this is a genre of movie maybe I'm not into.
No pony dance. There was no pony dance in it.
Nope.
Soderbergh, I thought that was like in all of his movies.
Oh, you're doing Magic Mike. Okay, I'm here.
It's his
I'm here
signature,
now.
doesn't it? So somebody does a pony dance in each one of his films, right?
I'm
I was-
horny.
I was also confused at what Freddy was trying to say, Amy.
Yeah.
Okay. but we got there.
I mean,
eventually.
we just covered Magic Mike not that long ago.
I know, but that's not like living in my head all the time.
Pony isn't.
And when
Apparently
you
it
say pony
is for
It's
you.
dance,
living in my head rent free.
and when you say pony dance, I envision an actual pony
I know. It's
as
like,
opposed to the song by Genuine.
Like a My Little Pony. Something that smells like strawberries. If you scratch its forehead, give it a sniff.
So, what did you like it, Freddy? Presents?
I did. I didn't love it, but it's one of those movies that if you're into what actors can do in a single shot and like watching performances that are kind of dynamic and exciting in that they're just like watching a stage show, you know, that kind of thing. There's several of those in the movie that are really good.
So, is there like a mystery involved or something?
Yeah, you don't know what the ghost wants or who the ghost is.
Mhm.
It feels like a found footage in a real high quality drone. I mean, it feels like a found footage movie because of the
Right.
way it plants the ghost in the corner of the room. You know, you feel like you have a stationary camera.
Yeah.
But then when it starts moving, it's really kind of more exciting.
I mean, it's like the whole movie takes place in the house, right? So you don't. Does it feel claustrophobic?
The house is so beautiful and huge.
Is it? Okay.
No, I never felt claustrophobic. In fact, the house seems so big.
So, but it never feels like boring just seeing the same stuff over and over again at all.
Not to me, but to some people. Well, like Amy, you thought it was. Did you feel it was kind of boring in the
Yeah.
slower moments?
yeah.
Like I'm more like I could just, if I get zoned out into a movie enough, I can overlook some stuff that might seem a little boring.
Maybe rewatching it, I'd get more out of it knowing what happens at the end
Yeah.
and kind of, you know, what you learn.
Yeah, like they'd be like clues, like in Sixth Sense.
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, there.
It makes me rethink some of the scenes and you
Yeah.
go, oh, okay, that's why.
Yeah.
I can't say.
It is one of those movies I think is designed to be watched
No
twice.
Spoilerinos.
If you're not too bored with it the first time, if you're like, this is just Lucy Liu being a cold mother, or you could be like, wow, Lucy Liu is playing this cold mother really well.
She did. She
A lot
did a
of
great job.
perspective. The
good
dad
to see
reminded
her.
me of Burt Kreischer for some reason.
All right.
Yeah.
Anything else before we wrap this shit up?
No.
All right. At the end of every show, we always say hello to our Beelzebubs. Patreon.com/NOTLP. If you're interested over there, we just did a Topicana where we talked about the topics of the day. So you can get our hot takes. Would we allow our children to go on a sleepover? You'll learn in Topicana. We also have Origins over there, which is our first, few years of episodes that you can't get on the internet right now. But we record new intros to old episodes where we apologize for the way we spoke back when that's the way everybody did. Anyway, sometimes I'm sorry. Sometimes I'm sick of saying sorry. Beelzebubs. I'll shut up. Matt. Branan and Emily. Jeffel. Iona Goodwin.
I own a great one.
Dr. Brian. Old Dirty Bill Sturd. Bill Fahrner. Blayne Yogurt. Jordache Jeans. Monica. Jeremy. Cassie. And Gamora. Ernest. Dave. And Paul. Thank you so much for your
thank
contribution to my life. Bye.
All right, bye, everybody.
Frankenstein was wondering if he should go to bed when his old bud